Small boats, big fish, that's what we're about on this channel, and that's no exception to today's video. If you want to see how we've gone in looking for perhaps one of the best all-round small boats for everything from estuary fishing to game fishing, you want to hang on to this episode. That's right, it's 5:30 in the morning and we're on our way to check out a boat that's a long way away from where we live, but I think it could be worth it. What I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to switch around to show you all the boats we have been looking at, and then from there, if this boat works out, you'll know about it because we'll switch to that boat and we're going to tell you what we're going to do and what we've found about this boat. Now, to give you a quick rundown, this boat seems fairly exciting. Autopilot on it, $3.5 grand apparently spent on a trailer to make it as new as possible and as convenient as possible, and of course apparently full service history. Now, one thing I want to quickly run through, guys, is we need to be careful with all this stuff because a lot of the time the buyer will try and shit you around. But anyway, enough of me waffling. Let me show you the boats we've been looking at, and then hopefully at the end of all that I can show you the boat that we've just purchased if this one turns out alright. We've been let down a few times, hopes aren't high, but we'll see how we go. See you soon.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down.
Right, guys, so it's the morning after. It's nice and early. I'm in here at Boat City, obviously where I'm working at the moment, so if you ever want to come down for a chat, feel free. But what we have here is the Savage Centurion. Now, guys, it's going to be a bit dodgy because obviously I'm on the selfie stick and I'm not very good at this stuff, but I'm going to run you through this boat on why it was an okay buy, but it still does require a lot of work. We'll quickly run through what we've got here, though. We've got the 480 Savage Centurion SPX, which was their more deluxe model with the Centurions. It's on a Dumbia trailer that's apparently had $3.5 grand's worth of work on. I'm going to tell you why that's an absolute freaking disgrace in a minute. We've got on here the Mariner. Now, the one thing I'm going to quickly teach you about these Mariners, and I'm still not a fan of them, is the fact that this is a 2003 Mariner, and in 2003 they were using Yamaha power heads, which is a slight bit of positivity for the motor. But everything from powerhead down is still Mariner. We'll see how that goes. Inside the boat at the moment, it's a little bit of a disgrace because I've been playing with it. Of course, I got stuck straight into it yesterday. It's a bit of a disgrace, but what you're going to see is you're just going to see that there's still a little bit of deck space. They have put these nice new seats in here. Up the dash there, you'll see we've got an old Lowrance HDS, which is coming straight out. New sound is already ordered, but I'll go into what that is later. We've got a VHF there mounted on the side in the worst possible place. The guy did put new carpet throughout and did do a bit of re-trimming himself, but if you have a look at this trimming here, it's absolutely disgusting, the way they've just sort of folded it over. But look, this is all part and parcel of buying a 20 odd year boat. Up the front there, you can see that we've got a small little cab for the kids. Once again, I know it's a bit of a disgrace up there, but what we can see up the front here is going to be the that gauge system there, which is the Suzuki SMIS system. Why they put that in, I have absolutely no idea, because that system there runs off NMEA, which is not compatible with the 2003 EFI Mariner 4-strokes. So that just blows me away. Only one of those gauges up there is necessary to run the autopilot system, but even the autopilot system when we took it out was a bit clunky. Right, I've just let the cat out of the hat. We've taken it out and we went for a run. Now, what I will say straight away is that this 60 is slightly underpowered for this boat. So what we've actually had to do, if you have a look down here, this is a brand new prop. It's a Yamaha prop, which went straight on, which was good. We did have a 13-inch pitch on. We went to an 11 pitch, which was almost right, and that now is a 10 pitch, which is absolutely, yeah, I don't know. We're going to make it work. Well, let's go to this trailer. Okay, we'll go to the trailer. Already what I've done is just here, I've added on the beach launching wheel. So if we go around here, you can see just here that it's a full drop-down system for the beach. The trailer itself actually hasn't been too badly restored, but what you might have seen earlier on in the video is that we've got this blue roller. Now this isn't one of the ones that was on it, okay, this particular roller, but it did have blue down the center line, which is why this trailer was a disgrace. $3.5 grand this guy spent on this, I guess, refurbishment of the trailer to get absolutely shafted by the guy who did it. See, what the guy did was, these keel rollers here, okay, on a fiberglass boat have to be soft, okay, soft rubber rollers, and that prevents this from happening. Can you see this here, the chipping in the gel coat and all the stress fractures? What that was from, that happened because they put these hard blue poly rollers on, which have absolutely no give at all, okay? An absolute disgrace. The other thing they've done is, and don't do this, guys, I know you think it's going to be cool because it's going to add an inch extra, but if we actually have a look down here with the axles, you can see that they've been underslung. So they've come underneath the leaf spring to try and give that little bit of extra lift. But what we actually want to do is bring that axle now back on top, so this trailer will ride properly and won't cause the wheels to sit back in that wheel arch. See how we're sitting slightly that way? We don't want that, guys. We want them to be sitting dead center. So by these little modifications that they've been doing, it's really not been fantastic. The other thing we're going to show you now, I'll turn the camera around again. If you have a look at those wheels, they're actually toe in, okay? So they've got a slight bend in, and that's because the way this guy set it up with this piss weak axle, we've actually got a bow in there, bow in the axle. Now that's not going to cause any problems in terms of towing or anything like that, but what it will cause problems with is tyre wear, and it's going to be absolutely horrible. Now to the hull. Now the hull isn't perfect. The hull has got its downfalls, like that chip in the hull that I just showed you from the rollers. But the other thing that they have done, let me show you this. So these are the epoxy gel coat repairs they've done. Okay, you can see here, this one here is where the strap was rubbing, and all they've done is just whacked all this gel coat or whacked all this fiberglass repair on, which means I've got a lot of sanding to do. Now that's not the end of the world. It'll be okay. We can get that done pretty quickly. I'll show you the one that we actually did yesterday. So I wanted to have a look, and then within 5 minutes, I mean, you can see here, we got rid of that completely. We've just got to colour that in and give this a buff, and it'll come up nice. But there are some little chips out the gel coat underneath the hull, but once again, it's what you expect in a 20-year-old hull. We've got, of course, the bimini up here as well. Rod holders across the top. That spotlight's going to come off straight away. We're going to be putting something in the central there where you can see that Railblazer mount, and all those rod holders there are going to come off as well, because we need to repaint them and yeah, get rid of the corrosion off them. It did have a live well in the rear seat, which we've taken out already. We've ripped that out. We've got this, obviously this bait board just here. That's going to get mounted behind the this little live bait lid here. So that is actually a well in there that you can keep your bait, or you can run a recirc pump in. The one downfall for these boats is they are an external tank system. Okay, so this came with two 25 litre tanks. What I've done is I've already ripped the two 25 litres out, and we've put this in. So that there is a Scepter 45 litre tank, and the reason I want it all in one is when you're running two 25s, you run out of fuel, you've got to run down the back of that boat, you've got to quickly switch it before your motor dies out, and if you're in a bit of a shit situation with, I don't know, swell or whatever, you're going to have a pretty tough time, okay? Because everything moves a lot faster when you're under pressure, let me tell you. All in all, guys, this whole video is more or less just about showing you the boat that ticked the boxes that we wanted to tick in the start of the video, and really show you pretty much how we picked it up. I mean, of course, I can't help myself. I have to get into stuff quick. It's just part of my nature, I guess. But what you're going to see in probably the next video is how this boat has turned out once we've added all our Railblazer stuff, our new sounder, which I'm not going to talk about because it's a very exciting sounder. And for once, guys, it's not Garmin. I know. I don't believe it either that I've gone something else other than Garmin. But yeah, you'll see the boat, how it's developed, and then from there we'll get it out on the water and see how it performs in all those areas we wanted to do, which was estuary, deep water, and game fishing. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this little purchase and run through on what we purchased to try and get this project started. It can be done on a budget, as you've seen, because I mean the budget was to keep it under 25k, and 25k for an all-round boat is pretty good. My first fiberglass boat, so it's going to be pretty exciting to see what I think of that. And yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. See you later.